The place, Captain's Cove, Bridgeport, Connecticut, site of the 1992 St. Vincent's Swim Across the Sound. The escort ship, the HMS Rose, the tallest wooden sailing ship in the world. The athletes, the best open water swimmers in the world. The cause, the same for everyone, race cancer and win. The event, the 1992 St. Vincent's Swim Across the Sound to support cancer prevention and education services. The hundreds who cheer cancer survivor Adam Krieger and international swim marathon stars also joined the race against cancer in Fairfield County. This is their story.
And I do things like this because it makes me individually feel great.
Well, the volunteers are very committed to making things better for those who are afflicted with this particular disease.
Volunteers get into the swim in an active way by participating in the 24-hour swimathon held at Fairfield University Recplex. The swimathon, co-sponsored by Lafayette Bank and Burger King, launches the swim and brings hundreds of area residents out to support St. Vincent's cancer prevention services. They raise pledges and swim laps.
I've done 64, they've done 84, and we're each going to do 200 apiece.
My goal is 100, and I've only got 17 more laps to go, and I've gotten my 100 laps. That's over a mile, right?
And most important of all, volunteers bring a strong message of support for all those dealing with cancer.
Without lots of medical help,
all those dealing with cancer.
Without lots of medical help, I wouldn't be swimming. I wouldn't be walking around now. So it's time for me to do my part.
This is our partnership, and this is something that we can do together. And I'm proud to be part of her team.
Ditto.
Yes.
Same here.
Two people who promoted this event more than anybody else are the most important swimmers long-term. What's your name, John?
John LaBarca and Timothy Quinola.
Quinola is here today, and they're going to be kicking this off. We also...
The swimathon is also loads of fun for people of all ages. And who better to get that message across than WICC's John LaBarca and newsman Tim Quinn. John's WICC Pool Sharks pledged $8,500 to support his maiden voyage in the Recplex pool. The listeners of radio station Q96.7 Radio in Stamford raised an additional $2,800 with their own team. "19-year-old Adam Krieger of Trumbull, an MIT sophomore who is battling bone cancer, put together a very special team for the swimathon. Adam raised $15,000 and challenged corporate and community teams to best his team in the water, as well as the fundraising arena.
That's what Adam's challenge this year has been able to do, is it's been able to bring in other cancer patients who are trying to do something superb and trying to really beat what has tried to attack them. Superb and trying to really beat what has tried to attack them by going out and getting involved in an event like this. One of the things that always made my recovery easy was that the Swim Across the Sound proved that the community was always there to back me and to back all of us. And I think their response has been excellent.
And the teams came out to meet Adam's challenge. More than 26 teams participated, including this group from People's Bank. Adam is particularly proud of 13-year-old teammate Corey Mosier, who participated after undergoing intensive chemotherapy.
And she went to the pool for the swimathon thinking that she wouldn't be able to do 20 laps. I remember standing there for an interview with her and her saying, 20's my goal, but I don't think I'll make it. She said it really quietly too. She was pretty shy at the beginning of the day. By the end of the weekend, she'd done 230. She left me in the dust.
This year's swimathon raised $52,000 toward the overall goal of $200,000. But more importantly, it raised awareness about the importance of cancer prevention and screening programs in the community. The St. Vincent's Swim Across the Sound carries this message of hope to the community. A pre-race press conference introduces the international marathon swimmers, the best in the world. Degano of Argentina, the world's top male swimmer. Shelley Taylor-Smith of Australia, the world's #1 female swimmer. Christof Wandratsch of Germany, European champion. Paul Asmuth of California, former Olympian and world record holder. David Alleva of Virginia, the #1 marathon swimmer in the United States. David Alleva of Virginia, the #1 marathon swimmer in the United States. Air Force Captain Karen Burton of Colorado, the #1 ranked female swimmer in the United States. Silvia Dalotto of Argentina, the 6th ranked female in the world. Marian Cassidy of Florida, 3rd ranked women's swimmer in the world. Annie Grandisson of Quebec, the top woman swimmer in Canada. Claudio Plit of Argentina, regarded as the world's greatest marathoner of all time. Anita Sood of Bombay, India, ranked 13 among female swimmers in the world. And Connecticut's own Amy Dunleavy, U.S. junior champ. Swim morning begins with official ceremonies at Danford's and a welcome by Port Jefferson, Long Island Mayor Frank Frasca.
This morning we have a new bridge in that we have the swimmers who will be swimming from Port Jefferson to Bridgeport, giving us another link between our two cities.
But shortly after, early morning clouds turn into a sudden and unexpected storm, which delays the start of the race. High winds and heavy rains have kicked up 8-foot waves over the entire length of the 15-mile course from Port Jefferson to Black Rock Harbor. The seas have become hazardous to the swimmers and their small guideboats. Members of the swim committee review alternate routes, but finally at 9:36 a.m., the U.S. Coast Guard at Eaton's Neck is forced to revoke the race permit for the safety of all involved. International Marathon Swimming Federation Chairman Roger Parsons confers with swim officials, and together they decide on a safe water course in Black Rock Harbor. In the meantime, the athletes must in Black Rock Harbor. In the meantime, the athletes must endure the 2-hour ferry boat ride back through the storm. Up at 4 a.m., chilled by rain and exhausted by a turbulent 4-hour round-trip passage across the Sound, they must gear up all over again for a different race than expected. Back in Black Rock Harbor, the crowd is drenched by the rain, but spirits are high. Swim fans make the most of it and find plenty of help at Captain's Cove, which has become one of the state's premier tourist attractions. They enjoy the food and the shops and a glimpse of the 179-foot HMS Rose, which towers above the commercial dock. The safe water swim turns out to be a plus for spectators. The abbreviated 10-kilometer inner harbor course will make the entire race visible from the decks and veranda at the cove. Finally, at 3 p.m., the race is set to begin with a cannon blast from the HMS Rose. The shortened race format will favor men who are faster over short distances. But all eyes are on Shelley Taylor-Smith, who has regularly defeated the male swimmers in the world's toughest marathons. The race takes shape quickly with Paul Asmuth in the lead. He's closely followed by the pack, including world champion Degano, Christof Wandratsch of Germany, and Shelley Taylor-Smith. Conditions have been tough, but these swimmers are used to adversity, often competing in races of 10 to 12 hours in the water. Swimmers are used to adversity, often competing in races of 10 to 12 hours in the water. Australian Shelley Taylor-Smith gives us an insight into what makes her a champion.
Well, I really believe that I'm successful because I believe in what I do. I believe in going out there when I race, just be the best person I can be on that day. Winning, to me, is just achieving my goals. It's not coming first.
By the third lap, Asmuth drops back, while Degano and Wandratsch trade places for the lead. The former champion has known his share of disappointment, losing his chance to compete in the boycotted 1980 Olympics.
Over the last 13 years, the races I've been in, some of them have been so incredibly hard. The average person just can't relate to an experience like that. I've seen what really toughness is all about.
A single guide boat leads the swimmers on the modified course. They pull close for a nutritious drink. The excitement builds on shore as fans expect a close race. Back on the dock, swim officials also complete another important race, the fundraising effort. And the final tally is over goal at $225,000. St. Vincent's Foundation President Ronald J. Bianchi recognizes sponsors and presents awards to swimathon leaders. Swim chairman Lou Broderson does the play-by-play for the final lap, and it's proving to be a great race.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming down the chute, it's Christof Wandratsch on the left and Degano, the #1 male swimmer in the world, on the right. It's a photo finish, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it. Remember, they've been swimming for 2 hours.
The leaders, Christof Wandratsch and Degano, surprised the crowd at the finish line. In an unusual gesture of sportsmanship, the two swimmers locked arms in a tie at the end of the 6-mile race as a tribute to the swim. Following closely behind is American Paul Asmuth. Shelley Taylor-Smith finishes 4th, and Claudio Plit completes the final 5. Shelley reminds everyone what the swim is all about.
The spirit is what got us through today. We faced a lot of turmoil out there and a lot of trials and tribulations as we were going over and coming back, but we knew the reason was for a just cause, and we knew it wasn't for us. We were able to give something back from our sport to other people, and we're just happy to be here. Thanks so much.
Claudio Plit speaks for the other swimmers when he speaks from the heart.
We fight against the elements of the marathon, the element of the waters, the hard times, and I think that's the thing we have in common. So I feel more close to the people who fight against cancer, and I respect them a lot. Thank you very much.
The day is over, but the fight against cancer continues. Adam Krieger, athlete and cancer survivor, knows that cancer is the toughest race.
He can stop anytime he wants. If we quit, that's a serious threat to our lives.
The strength of the marathon swimmer, the courage of those with cancer, come together for a brief moment each summer in the swim across the Sound. In the swim across the Sound.